Hi, I'm Jenna, and this is episode 102. Whew, I'm sure it's chilly where other people are, but boy, it's cold in here today. But I thought I'd wear my sprig sweater since you got to see it last week. There are pictures that I put on Instagram and my project page, but I love the sweater. It fits so good, so well written and clear. Alana Dacos's patterns are just lovely, so I'm wearing it because I love it. Okay, real quick rundown since I mentioned the sprig sweater. This is one of our knit-alongs going on. So you still have the rest of January. So you got a little over a week left of January and then all of February to get your sprig sweater knitted. So there was some discussion. Someone was kind of stuck on how to do the neckband. So I kind of walked her through that. So if you're kind of struggling, there is some tips there. I tried my hardest not to give out any of the pattern, just kind of explained how it was done. And I'm going to go ahead and give away a $7 pattern or less, if you choose $7, up to $7 of a pattern of your choice for the winner. And then we're also doing our Francis, the sock-wearing fox knit-along. So there is just a little over a week left to wrap that up. Week and a half. And so many cute foxes, with and without sockses. I have so much fun seeing my patterns come to life by the hands of others. And I enjoy the FO thread so much. And it's always fun when people put it in the chat, pictures in the chatter thread as well, because then I can comment on them. Sometimes it's like I'll see stuff in the picture only threads and I want to like comment so bad, but I can't. So this is my Francis, made out of Cascade 220 Superwash in the burnt orange colorway. I think this is the Aran, A-R-A-N, black and bright aqua, something like that. All the stuff's listed on the project page for it. My Dancing Dog Dye Works one I usually show is like on my little display because I've been reorganizing, which is going well. It's going a lot slower than I thought, but it's going well. Like, I feel like I'm finally finding permanent homes for some things. Sometimes you gotta move it around a couple times, but things are finding their spot and it's going well. Not quite done. I don't know. It's one of those things, are you ever done? I don't know. Oh, and then the prizes, I gotta mention, I keep forgetting, and I am seriously very apologetic to the sponsors of our knit-along, Caterpillar Designs, who she has fabulous stitch markers. I love seeing that her business has taken off so well. She is donating a set of Foxy stitch markers, because it's a fox in socks. And we also have a viewer who's donating a pattern up to $7 as well for that. So, fabulous. You could get a sweater pattern. You could get the sprig pattern. You could get the toy pattern. You could get anything. It's so generous. I'm trying to think anything else I can think of. Any business to take care of. Not that I can think of. My test knitters, I did get enough sock testers pretty quick. So I got all that I needed, and there are people who have like one sock done and already working on their second one, which is amazing. So a big thank you to all those who volunteered, and those who were like, oh shoot, I missed it. It's going to be a free pattern, it'll be out soon, and I would still love to see your socks. I'll still, every time I release a pattern, if you don't look on Ravelry, or, not everybody's on Ravelry, I do open a thread for that pattern so people can chatter about it, post finished objects and stuff like that, because I love seeing them. Sometimes if I'm kind of having a little bit of a poopy day, I go on Ravelry and I'll look at some of the finished projects for some of my patterns, because it always cheers me up. I have to admit that. Finished objects. I have one. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to finally have these done. So last night I finished my DVD logo socks. So it is the Desert Vista Dye Works logo. So it's all the colors of the logo in a sock. So I love these because there is this Beautiful kind of golden yellow and an orange and a rusty kind of red almost, and it's kind of like a sky blue and then a navy blue, and I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. And I do have two sock blockers. And my stripes match, of course, because I'm one of those people, my stripes have to match. I have a pair where the stripes don't quite match up, and I just don't wear them. I don't like to wear them because it bugs me. So, my stripes have to match up. I love this colorway. I love the Desert Vista Dye Works Viso base, which is the base that the stripes are on. I think I only have striped sock yarn from Desert Vista Dye Works because I have learned I wear my striped socks way more than the handful of variegated ones that I have. I'm just a fan of the stripes. So I can't wait to wear these. I'll probably wear them tomorrow. But I wanted to have them on the sock blockers and show you them all fancy before I wore them. So these were on the needles like since mid-November. And I just didn't have a lot of time to knit on socks. These were like some car knitting, waiting room knitting, lots of waiting room knitting, and stuff like that. And then I was finally like, I need to bust these out and get it done. Because I had said I'm going to work on one new project and one old project. So only casting on one new project at a time. But I kind of did cast on two. Only because I got the sniffles. I am so sorry. It is so cold. My nose has been running. I'm not sick, just cold. Oh. Okay, so I cast on the Sockhead hat because I needed another mindless knitting project. I didn't want to cast on another pair of socks. Not yet, anyways, because I've been wanting to make one of these. So I don't have, I think it's like her Ravelry store is like Boho Knits. I don't know, I can't remember if the designer goes by her name as well. But I know you can find it under Boho Knits, and it's the Sockhead hat, and it is free. It's free on Ravelry. So, let's see. I love the colors. There's like oranges, like pumpkiny oranges and marigold yellows and some aquas and a little bit of a light teal. And it is the opal in the Vincent van Gogh color from the color collection, and it is the sunflower painting. You can see right there. So, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Hold on. There. I had to get it out. The air is really dry in here too. So, what was I saying? Before I interrupted myself. Okay, when I was looking at yarn to make a Sockhead hat, because I keep seeing everybody's, and everybody's looks so cute, and I never thought I'd be one that could pull off a slouchy hat, like, ever. But everyone's knitting one right now. I've seen tons of them on Instagram and on Ravelry. So I was looking through my stash, and I had a skein of the sunflower colorway. And I'm like, oh, that would look great with my hair. But I want socks with it as well. And I lucked out because my LYS had an extra skein. And I can put it on. You can see strings hanging. So I really like the colors on me. See, I'm not quite slouching quite yet. So someone told me that I might not want to go the whole 9 inches, but I don't know. I'm like, I'd hate to cut it short and wish that I would have knitted more. So I might knit it all 9 inches and finish it, and if I don't like it, I just might rip back to where I want it to be. But otherwise, I'm really liking it. It feels really thin though to me. I don't know, I don't see it. I mean, I know it is wool, so it will help keep me warmer, but I don't know. We'll see. If anything, I really enjoyed knitting this. Okay, I didn't enjoy the first 4 inches, or 4.5 or whatever it is. Like I said, it's free. Not giving anything away. Of the ribbing, because I hate to knit ribbing, but the rest of it has been quite enjoyable. I like being able just to sit in the car, watch TV, and just knit. Like, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to count rows. I'm maybe 3.5 out of like the 9 inches till you decrease. So I still have a ways to go. So I think I'm good there. And then the other thing that I had started right here is the Miranda sweater. Because I kept seeing these and I loved it. Ooh, it's not quite that blue. I just want to say that for the record. It's not that bright blue. Like, yeah. The lighting, I'm getting a lot of natural light in here, so I'm sorry if I'm a little washed out on this side. But it's not that bright of a blue. It's darker. Much darker. It's like a navy with teal flecks in it. It's gorgeous. The color has so much depth in it. So it is Ella Ray Classic Superwash in the Deep Sea colorway. I'm worried that hat messed up my hair. Not that my hair had much going for it today anyways. And the pattern is a pain. It's a paid for pattern, and I am now to the point where I divided for the sleeves, and I'm really confused by the directions. So someone told me to sit down and like write it out, so I'm going to try that later. I'm going to try to see if I can muddle through and figure it out. Let's hope, because I'm liking it. I'm really, really liking it. I was concerned about gauge because the pattern calls for an Aran weight yarn, and I am using a light worsted. But I got gauge. So the fabric just might be a little, I don't know, the ladies at the knit shop did not think it was coming out too thin. I thought it could have been a little thicker. But really I love it. And when you can really see the cables, kind of like when you stretch it. Oh, my bag just fell over. So I am doing the short sleeve version with the pocket. So like I said, it is Miranda by Jose Paquin. Trying to find, I don't know, I'm trying to find a picture so I can show you. Alright, so here's it's in black and white. Hopefully you can see the detail. But I like the thought of having a layering piece. I'm trying to embrace the layering, because normally I'm not a layering kind of person, but I'm trying to be. So far so good. I'm really liking this yarn. It has great stitch definition, and it's a super wash, so hopefully it'll wash well and hold up well. So that is the only other thing I've been working on this week. I keep thinking when I finish this sweater, I might go back and knit the driftwood again. Because, okay, my thinking is I was supposed to be knitting the large, and it came out 2 sizes too big. So maybe if I knit a small, it'll turn out large. We'll see. And then if that doesn't work, I'll give up on it and repurpose the yarn. So that's it for works in progress. I have Yarny goodness. So I helped out at my LYS this past weekend. I just kind of hung out. It was an unofficial helper. Was not being paid by any means. But the owner was out, had surgery and everything, and her friend was filling in, and I just thought, oh, I'll go keep her company, because she was like, gosh, you know, she didn't want to be there alone and be bored. And so I went and I hung out, and some of the other ladies came in, and this lady was wearing a TGV, the high-speed knitting shawl, and it was gorgeous because it was in rainbow. So I'm like, I keep staring at it. I felt bad because I felt like I was staring at her, but I was staring at her shawl. I'm trying to get the L in there, people. Someone's called me on saying shawl instead of shawl. The L's there in my head, as I've said before. So I was staring at her shawl, and I finally was like, what yarn is that? Like, I have to have some, because it's like perfect rainbow. And she's like, It's the scratchy stuff there on the back wall. So, it is, I think it's like Kuni, Kauni. I'm not saying I'm ever pronouncing anything correctly. But there's the yarn. Focus on the yarn, not me. And it's kind of hard to see. I don't know if the camera will pick up. But inside, it is like, it is rainbow. It is gorgeous. And I love it. And it is scratchy. And it's a sport weight. And this one's 160 grams. So I think it works out to be like 660 yards. Very generous output. Then I got home and I was putting it in my Ravelry stash. And when I put a new yarn in my Ravelry stash, I always like to look at like pattern ideas. Just in case if there's something I like better than what I didn't go there and buy this yarn with a purpose. It followed me home. So I want to knit the Light Waves. So it's a shawl and it's gray at the top and then it has the rainbow. Well, this is the yarn the shawl calls for. So I might end up making that. But it only takes half a skein and then I don't know what to do with the other half. Because it won't be enough to make another shawl unless if I make the same one, which I don't want to do that. So we'll see. Not 100% sure what it's going to be yet. But I love it. Because I love rainbows. I think Silly Frou of the Sassy Pants Knitter podcast totally has me beat in the rainbow love department. I can admit it. But I still love me a good rainbow. And then I have been wanting to make, it's called the Monomania. And it's a cardigan. And it's chevrons, like big, thick, chunky chevrons. And so I've been wanting to find the yarn to knit that. And 2 of them came. I did order these from Jimmy Bean's Wool, which I don't regret ordering them from Jimmy Bean's because of Jimmy Bean's. I love Jimmy Bean's, but Eat Sleep Knit has their like yarn marathon going on. Yeah, let's just say there's an order coming. Yeah. But yay, go Team Knitasaurs. So, anyways, Madeline Tosh, Tosh Merino Light, or better known as TML, which I love. I love me some TML. I have to admit, it makes me pretty ridiculously happy. So, the camera is not picking up how green this one is. This is actually like green, like lime green. And it's looking way too yellow. Like, yeah, it's not picking up the green. Just like it never picks up the wall color correctly. This is like a celery green and it never looks right. So this is Grasshopper. And this is Baltic. This is coming out pretty close. Might be just a hair too bright, but this is one of the most beautiful shades of blue ever. Ever. Love it. And so these will be worked together along with a very bright blue, or bright aqua. It's not really blue, it's aqua. And a gray. So the bright aqua is in my stash and the gray is on its way to me. Because I've been wanting to make that shawl forever. And I think the pattern calls for the Plucky Knitter fingering. Yeah, good luck getting that. Never been able to catch stuff from the Plucky Knitter ever. So, like, well, we'll just have to go with Madeline Tosh. Oh, well. So, like I said, that came from Jimmy Bean's Wool. And then I placed a Knit Picks order. It is the first order I have placed in over a year. And the only reason I placed the order is because I used my card at Target. So I got a replacement. So right before I activated my replacement card, I placed a Knit Picks order because I am still not trusting of their system. So I got some Felici and Maple Leaves because I think Felici is my all-time favorite sock yarn. I love my Felici. I love it very much. I wish they would let stores carry the yarn in stores like they do the needles. Because then I'd buy all my Felici in store. But these are so my colors. It's rusty oranges and yellows and browns and some red. And it's Felici. Love my Felici. And then I did get more Bear in the DK weight. It's 100% merino wool. And this is what I've been making my little adipose out of. And I'm so behind on making adipose because I'm running low on yarn. And I've been putting it off. I think I'm like 3 behind. But now I don't have an excuse because I have more yarn. Because this is what I had been using. So, Knit Picks Bear. And like I said, it's the DK. And then I did, since I was ordering, I needed the circular needle. Everything's toppling over. I needed the circular needle that I'm knitting my sock head hat on because I did not own a 2.5, US 2.5, 16-inch circular. I think the only sizes I owned in the 16-inch was like a 7 and an 8, and I don't even remember why I owned them. So then I also had to get some double points, and I got the new Caspian needles for the circular for the sock head and the DPNs, and they're gorgeous. I mean, they're just shades of like kind of olivey green and a tealy green and a deep like cobalt blue. They're stunning. I don't know that my camera will pick up the colors. Let's see. But they're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I wish I could trade in all my rainbow ones for these because they're that pretty. And I thought, okay, well, I don't know when or if I will ever place another Knit Picks order again. So I have lost a couple of my size 7 needles, so I had to get new 7s. I also use size 2s for almost all the socks I knit, so I got an extra pack of 2s just to be safe. I also got a new needle sizer because I thought it's good to have an extra in case if I ever lose or break the one I have, because the one I have seems to be the most accurate compared to some of the other needle sizers I have. Locking stitch markers because they're my favorite and I break them like crazy. And same with the bent tip needles because they're $1.99 for 3 and it's such a great deal. So that's my Knit Picks order. Excuse me. The last thing I have to show you, it's knitting related, but it is not yarn or needles. I happened to see these on Instagram. Open the package so I can actually show you them. Denise of the Knitting Den, also of Kiki Boo Bags. I don't know if she has a, is it Kiki Boo Bags and more now? I don't remember. Anyway, she showed these on Instagram as she was working on them. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have them. Like when she lists them in her Etsy shop, I have to have them. So they're cards with envelopes. And there is like a brown, a aqua, and a pink. But they're all the same. And they say, knitting keeps us from unraveling. And they're stamped. And I think they are super duper cute. So she had ones with like it in a background. And then she actually sent me a really, really lovely note. And she had plain ones as well. This is the one she sent me the note in. Which is super cute. And I love that it's orange. So I got a set of 3 of the note cards. And then I loved these so much. They're little tags. I think there's 10 of them if I remember correctly. And there's 2 different patterns, but they all say the same thing. And it says hand knit by, and it has a place to fill in your name. So I loved these so much. Super, super cute. I love to scrapbook and all that. I never really got too much into card making. My sister-in-laws love to do card making and stuff. So I definitely know the time and the effort that can go into it. So I thought it was so worth getting. And it saves me from having to do it. Because, like I said, I'd rather do scrapbooking than card making. But I definitely can appreciate and love both crafts. And that's it. I feel like it was a seriously busy mail week here. So, the last thing I have to share with you is a book review. So, it'll be a short one. kitty hair on my screen. And it is Hank and Gracie Save the Day. Let's see. There we go. So it's really cute. It's a children's book. I would say the age range for this is kind of toddler to preschool. It was a little young for my kids. But they still thought it was cute. Everybody enjoyed it. There's a really neat introduction. The book is actually kind of based on real dogs and real people. I don't know that the story is real. But it does give, you know, a little introduction, tells you, you know, the yarn store that this takes place in is actually in Austin, Texas. It's called The Knitting Nest. And Hank and Gracie are real dogs. And there's actually a picture of them and a little blurb about them. Super cute. And then it tells you a little bit about Westies. The drawings are adorable. I want to show you. There's art. Super cute. And it's a cute little story about them and a little friend. And how they save some birdies. Alright, there we go. See, the dogs make a ruckus. I absolutely love the artwork for this. See, oh, poor little baby bird. Oh, wait. Ah! You see, they saved the little baby bird. And then the neat thing about the ebook is that it comes with like coloring pages. So there's an H for Hank, and inside the H are all kinds of words that start with H. And there's a G for Gracie. And the nice thing about the ebook is you could print them out over and over if you wanted to. And then there are a couple patterns. So in the book, the dogs have dog toys. And it gives you a pattern for, I guess it gives you a little bit of the instructions, not the whole thing. But it gives you a pattern for felted, knitted and crocheted dog toys, like balls. And then it has how to do a crocheted edge on a blanket. And then this is really cute. It's a little felted birdhouse. Because in the story, they make, the yarn shop owner makes a birdhouse for the birds. So the book is by, I should tell you that much, right? Try to get to the front. Well, while I'm getting this to the front, because I can't get the thing to pop up at the bottom here. The book does retail for $9.95. And it is by Stacy Klaus. I don't know if it's Klaus or Klaus, how you would pronounce it, C-L-A-U-S. And illustrations by Molly Wade. And it is put out by Cooperative Press. And of course, our wonderful friends at Cooperative Press have allowed me to give one away to you. So, if you would like to win a copy of Hank and Gracie Save the Day, to get it so it's not so bright and glaring, I'll start a prize thread, and what can we say? What little person in your life would you like to share the book with? Since it is a kid's book, and then we will draw the winner next week. So, like I said, super cute book. A huge thank you to Cooperative Press, because for me reviewing the books, because I know so many other podcasters review the books too, but I like to be able to give something away to you guys. And, I mean, they gift me one as well, so that's always nice, which they don't have to do. And I just like to be able to give something back to you guys for watching. So, thank you for putting up with me doing the book reviews. And that's it for the knitting. So if you're leaving me now, I will see you next week. And if you're sticking around, we're moving into a slice of life. Oh, this past week, I don't know why all of a sudden things got so hard. I gained 3.5 pounds this week, right? 3 and freaking half. Like I was pissed off. Plain and simple. And I know it was from bad food choices, but like all of a sudden, like everything was going along good. I was following plan, and then like the holidays tripped me up. And it's like I should be able to get back in the swing of things. It's the end of January now, and I'm really struggling, and I don't know why. I don't know why all of a sudden it just seems hard to stay on plan. So yeah, some really rough day yesterday. Just it's just one of those days where you just feel like you can't catch a break. You're just like, really, come on. So I did some retail therapy online, which you'll probably see next week. I know that's not the answer to the problem either, but sometimes it just makes you feel good. And I know that trying to get everything organized is helping, you know, to stay on track, and it makes me feel better, like physically and emotionally. It's like when you get rid of the crap, it's like a weight taken off of you, even though it's not physical. It feels physical. So getting everything worked out I keep going like this, like you can see what I'm talking about. Getting everything worked out over here in my yarn cubbies, because they're on the wall that runs along here, it's definitely helped. Like I definitely feel good about it. It's kind of been a distraction, but at the same time I feel like I'm always hungry, always. Like even if I've eaten a good sized meal, I'm like, no, I could eat more. Still hungry. I just gotta get back in the swing of things, and I know, eat more protein and drink more water, and I've been trying to drink my water. I've said all along I struggle with that as well. Because if I'm not thirsty, I don't want to drink something, and I'm not thirsty usually. So, but yeah, the big focus is getting organized, but I'm one of those people, like I'm working on something, and say I have this, and this belongs over there. I go to put this over there, and then I'm distracted by the mess that's over there. And then I've forgotten about this over here until I look over and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to be over here, I'm supposed to be over here. And I'm very OCD and ADHD. It's something I've struggled with like my whole life. So I'm very easily distracted, and then sometimes I get obsessive about things and everything has to be a certain way, and it definitely creates conflicts within myself. Can be a total hot mess at times. Let's just tell it like it is, right? Hot mess. But I'm getting there. So it's a struggle to get organized a lot for me. I don't like the clutter, but sometimes I get too overwhelmed by simple tasks of sorting. I really wish I talked last week about the show Clean Sweep, which I'm sad to say now is no longer on. Someone informed me. I'm like, they need to put reruns on like Netflix or something. And I wish I could work with like a professional organizer who could come in and do some of the tedious stuff for me. Or, you know, just kind of help me out for when I get overwhelmed and distracted, which are two things I fight with almost everything I do. Very easily distracted and get obsessive about stuff. It's a crazy combination, I'm telling you. But we're getting there. Slowly but surely. I'm getting there. You're coming along with me, right? I'm telling you about it. And a lot of it is finding the right size containers for things to fit in. Because if you buy your containers too big, then they're taking up too much space. And if you buy them too small, well, then obviously things don't fit. So, I might go, and when I actually get all my cubbies sorted and figure out, I'll put a picture, because I know I've gotten asking people like they want to know. I put a picture on Instagram. I actually cleaned out the cubbies. Like I took every single thing out. I polished the cubbies down. You got out the pledge and the paper towels and cleaned everything out, which it needed it. Some of them were pretty dusty. And started from scratch. Like, I didn't put anything back really where it was except my hand spun. I like having my hand spun in the top few cubbies. And just trying to get it organized in a way that makes sense to me. My husband's like, that is the most like messed up organization. He's like, wouldn't you do it like that? I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense to me. It has to make sense to me. So no one else might understand my cubby system, but that, as long as I understand it, that's what matters, right? Because no one else is going to be using the yarn but me. So that's where I'm at. I'm still plucking away at it. It's going to be a slow process for me because it's overwhelming. You know, a big thing with ADHD is that when there's a big task and you get overwhelmed, you want to shut down. Like, you want to walk away from it and forget about it. And you're much better having it be a mess and not messing with it at all. Kind of ignoring it, forgetting it's there, than to dive into it because you're so overstimulated. So, you know, it's a process. Working on it. It's getting there. There's definitely a huge improvement. Even my husband's like, oh, it looks so nice, which is nice to hear. Because he's like one of those guys, as most men are, that probably wouldn't notice most of the time. But I was like obsessing. Like, I had it all out in bins and it was insane. And I think the mess everywhere else caught his attention. But it's pretty much back to not a mess, but organized. It's getting there. Now that I've blathered on about it, because it's just been a big focus for me this week, is the whole organization thing has been, you know, something I've really been striving for. But that's it. I'm still gonna be plucking away on that. Hopefully I will get past that spot in my Miranda sweater where I am completely confused and I can't focus on it. That's the problem, is when I get overly confused, I can't focus. It's too much for my brain to process. So I'll have to just sit down when it's quiet and it's just me and pick through it and try to figure it out. Because in my head it's not making a lick of sense. So, now that I've blathered on, for sure. Definitely going this time. So, I am Jenna, also known as RetroLemon. I am RetroLemon on Ravelry, Plurk, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Fitbit, and Weight Watchers. So until next week, I'll see you then.